Well, good morning, everybody. It's March 31st, 2025, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Good morning, Bev.
Morning, Paul.
And I guess in the United States, it's Cesar Chavez's birthday today. So,
Hey,
yeah, I was very honored and blessed to actually sit with him in San
well,
Diego in a
I
little
remember
little
in the book.
cabin. It was a little thing out in the fields. There were six people there. I'll
Wow.
never forget it. Yeah, and he said to everybody, "Does everybody speak Spanish?" And of course, I was the only gringo there, and I
Hey,
sheepishly said, "No, I don't." And he spoke in English. So,
wow. Oh,
and you talk
well,
about a man who was based on love. It was a revolution of love. That's what
yeah, yeah.
transformed.
That's why you were there.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it really was one of the inspiring things in my moment to help me continue to do BioTouch. And we're going to talk about that today,
You are.
the truth in BioTouch. So,
Woo.
but first of all, we want to do our weekly thing about the dream catcher. And this
Yes.
week we have your mentor, Sandy Totaro.
He was. Oh my gosh. I loved working with her. On Saturdays is when I was doing my internship. Woo. That was
Interesting.
a long time ago. Wonderful.
Yeah, a long time ago, and she was a practitioner here for
One of the
years.
one of the
One of the
first ones,
first, yeah,
wasn't
one of the
she?
first
Yes.
instructors and
Yeah.
practitioners. Yeah, this particular picture here, right in the beginning time, we had a contest about. She was willing to do a little thing. Guess how many pounds she lost. And it was like 150 pounds just doing BioTouch. And that's a picture
Wow.
right after she had lost all that weight.
Wow.
And that was decades ago that
Oh,
that
I know.
happened. So,
I know.
so we're putting out the love juice to Sandy Totaro in the Dreamcatcher. If you'd like to be in the Dreamcatcher, send us your name, picture, and where you reside on the planet, or if you've passed on. Sandy Totaro is one of those wonderful people who's passed on this planet, and I'm
Yep.
sure is hanging out here somewhere helping
Oh,
us
yes.
out. All right. Let's talk about the truth. What is the truth?
Oh,
uh,
really?
yeah.
We're
you
gonna
know,
do this.
yeah, how are we going to do this? Anyhow,
Yeah.
we went to ChatGPT
Hey.
to help us out, because, there's many people who say, and we talked about that at the beginning, oh, there's my truth and there's your truth. And I've never liked
Right.
that.
I speak my truth.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well, that's just like saying, here's my opinion, really.
yeah, I mean,
You
I can
know?
handle that. Here's my opinion.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
this is what
my
I believe,
my
and
experience.
right, but we're talking about the truth.
Right.
And I have said, I will just say this, I have said many times, BioTouch is, I'm not going to say I believe that, BioTouch is a idea, a divine idea, okay, that holds truth. And that's why we're going to do this show because the truth is what every single entity of life is evolving into. One truth.
Right.
It's universal. It's universal. Okay.
And
Yeah.
that in itself, as far as I have understood, can't be put into words.
Nope. Nope.
So,
It
folks,
really can't.
we're gonna beat around the bush, as most things that try to talk about the book, the
Right.
truth. And it reminds me too, in what you just said, in the book, BioTouch Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips by our lovely Deborah Schildhouse there. There was a question in there. She says, "Well, how come you don't charge, Paul, all these years?" And somebody just brought that up to me the other day. Well, you don't charge. You got to put a charge on it, or there's no worth. And so my answer in the book was, how can you charge for the truth?
Yes. And that's a good question right there. So you answered a question with the question.
Don't get me into that. I've been accused. I've been
Yeah.
accused of that way too many times. Just answer the question, Paul.
No, but I think in our center there hangs this lovely um, what? Uh, Saying why we don't charge at the
Right.
center.
Right.
And there it is right there for anyone to read on
Yeah.
our wall.
And that's interesting because it just goes over. Oh, and I forgot to post the picture. I'll do that next week. Michaela in Germany just had a class with 5 people. 2 of them were in Germany. I think 2 were in Italy, and there was one fellow in Portugal.
That's
And
awesome.
and there was a common language called biotouch.
I know. Universal language
It's a
called
universal
biotouch.
language, and so let's go up. So when we asked ChatGPT, I asked it about, how does biotouch relate to the truth? And it went through different aspects. We'll just sort of touch on some of these and build on it. That these are things we've talked about for over 8 years.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is not
Definitely.
something new in our
No.
presentation of biotouch. It talks about first the truth and healing, and just stop me when you get some brain fart or something here. It's like biotouch healing encourages awareness of the body's natural ability to heal. By experiencing firsthand the effects of gentle touch, you may discover a deeper truth about the power of non-invasive healing and the mind-body connection. From a scientific perspective, the human body is designed to heal itself.
Well, I that's the whole one of the premises that the BioTouch really is based on because it says it's the body that is the healer. The body wants to heal. The body wants to be whole. And so, how do you connect our little egos with that truth about the body? How is that? Well, you have a communication system,
Right,
don't you? And
right.
that's what this is right here.
Yeah,
That those 2 fingers lightly on the skin goes to the depth of the body and gives the body the way to bring itself back into wholeness.
yeah. The ChatGPT found that too. It said biotouch, by creating a nurturing and compassionate environment, reinforces a positive belief in the body's ability to heal, which can itself be a catalyst for improvement. You know,
Yeah.
and in one sense too, what I don't like about that one is it doesn't even need a belief.
No,
you
not at
know
all.
that
Nope.
what we found is you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to, people have found experience, who people within comas, uh, skeptics. I love working with skeptics. It's like, oh, come on, this can't work. Well, just sit down, try it. Or a
Right.
lot of times in the classes, I always love it when women will take the class and they'll say, "Oh, my husband, he's just
Right.
tolerating me going to another woo-woo fluff kind of a thing." And so I'll always say to them, I'll say, "Look, just go home, tell your husband that you just want to practice what you learned today. Don't tell him what it does. Don't tell him it's going to help him. Don't tell him anything. Just tell him
Need a guinea
you
pig.
need a guinea pig. You need a stooge to work on." You
Right.
know. And I remember one lady came back to the class the next day. She said, "Did you call my husband and pay him?" She said, "I did biotouch on him, and he said, 'Oh, well, that's pretty nice. If you need another guinea pig, just let me know.'"
He
She said it was
created a
the first
monster.
time of any workshop she'd ever went to that he was positive and wanted to have some more.
Because why? We say this all the time. It's absence of invasiveness on not just physically, but when you stand, in the presence, and we know presence will bring you into the truth. When you stand there without any expectation and just lightly touch, you're not causing waves of any kind to that body. It's just an act of loving, honoring. witnessing presence with that person. How there's nothing to gripe about.
Right, nothing, right. Which is why we don't give you a bunch of, well, here's why it works and this is what it
Right.
does. They asked, I went to the meeting, Michaela's class, and they had questions about, well, how did he get it and why does it work? Is it energy? Is it that? I said,
Yeah.
truthfully, I don't know.
Yeah. There you go.
And you can see people's eyes sort of like, what? You
Huh?
don't know? How can you say that?
Who says that anymore? Everybody knows.
And that's the greatest truth, to say,
I
I
know.
don't know.
I
Let's
agree.
investigate this together. That's what truth is. It's about
Yeah.
investigation. And BioTouch is an investigation. Find out if it works. Find out what it does for you. And you just talked about, so the second thing that chat came up with was truth in.
What they have said. There's only the present. Only the present. There's only the eternal now. Right now. You don't have to, to go in the past is, to go in the past is to, God knows what that does, to set up stress, wondering what's going to happen in the future. So where does that leave us? At the center point in a place of peace in the present. And that is exactly what BioTouch does when two people are practicing it. There's really, many, many times, this, no words happen. Nothing happens except that touch in those practicing uh, experiences. So, what does that help us to do? Just be present, not only with ourselves and with the person that we're practicing biotouch with. You can't get more connected than that.
Right. And we'll go back to Gary Schwartz. I also want to apologize if you're getting blipped out here. Somehow we're getting disconnected, but we'll keep it up and we'll have the
Hmm.
whole thing posted later. Gary Schwartz in the book goes, as you explore Deborah's gracious and grateful book, my wish is that you become filled as I did with the wonder and promise that BioTouch offers all of us, our loved ones, the greater humanity, and nature as a whole.
I mean, Gary, that was the
Yeah.
most beautiful thing. Yeah.
And so we go on here about more asking ChatGPT about the truth, and it talks about the truth in self-awareness. Oh, there's a key
Ooh.
phrase.
Ooh.
The relaxation and balance BioTouch brings can help quiet mental noise, allowing for clarity and insight. BioTouch offers an experiential approach to healing and awareness, bypassing the intellect and allowing the body itself to reveal what is true. From this equilibrium within life's changing forces.
I don't know how we can improve on that one.
No,
All right there.
yeah, and that's what we keep saying. Just listen. BioTouch is not about giving you more do's and don'ts.
Right.
Our presenter last Thursday was really good about food cravings. She didn't give you a lot of do's and don'ts. She gave you some ideas that you could possibly practice on your
Yeah.
own. And
Yeah.
BioTouch doesn't even give you that. It gives you points. It says, do this, and then listen, and then trust what you're hearing. Trust that's what
Right.
your body needs. You might have been a complete vegetarian, whole living foods for the past 20 or 30 years. All of a sudden you get BioTouch and something says hamburger.
And you say, okay, let's see.
Try it. And
Let's try it.
every time I've seen it, people just feel so much better. Or you
Yeah.
might be a complete meat eater and white bread kind of person, and something says broccoli, you
Right.
know, banana,
Do it.
do it,
Right.
and
Yeah.
trust. Or you go to the doctor and they say you have this, and you have, let's do this operation, and your body says, let's look into something else, and you try something else, or you do the operation after years of saying, no, not me. I mean, we had this guy in Hawaii, for years, didn't do an operation for his throat cancer, and finally, after a year of getting BioTouch, he decided to go for it. Had a trach put in, chemotherapy. Short of the story, he ended up being, even while he had that trach, the number one racquetball champ for seniors in Hawaii.
You go, guy.
You go, guy. And the
Oh,
final one they talk about is universal truth. Some believe that healing modalities like BioTouch tap into a, quote, universal energy or intelligence. In many traditions, healing is not just about fixing the body, but about restoring wholeness.
well, that's the foundation of it all, isn't it? Wholeness. The issue is, as you were reading that last one, I thought, well, this is the challenge, isn't it? Because we believe, the masses are still believing that we do not have power in our bodies, that we have not been programmed to trust our own bodies. We have been programmed to trust another person outside of that body with our lives. And now, and what all that does is incur this habit of laziness, that we have given all of that to the other guy. And we keep going back to these people that really don't answers for our bodies. Very
Right.
seldom, you know? And this, I think, in order to get back to that space of wholesome, we've got to be willing to give our bodies a chance. I don't see that we've done that in the past. And this, I've always said, BioTouch is cutting edge in that, because it says you must come to me, the body. Trust that I know, trust that I'm the healer, trust that I will give you the self-awareness through this technique to know what to do. And I'm not saying that those other things aren't valid or don't have their place, but surely they're not the all in the beginning and the ending of everything that we experience in our healing journeys.
Yeah.
This is where it begins, and this is where it's going to get healed, right here, not out there. I am the key. I am the key. And that's what BioTouch is saying. Give me that loving touch, because I know what to do.
So, what's the truth in BioTouch? We just went over it. Interestingly enough, out of all the weeks we've done this show kept blipping out, and finally it wouldn't live stream. So
Okay.
only I'll get this up to everybody and we'll do
Yeah.
it. But just so you know that this was a show that the internet had a hard time. And now that we're finishing up, it's green again. It was red through the whole thing. Very
Well,
interesting.
It's what's happening. It's
Right.
what's happening. So the truth is, yeah.
The truth
Go
will
from
set
there.
you free. BioTouch will set you free. Just try it. Let us know how we can help you use
Please.
BioTouch in your life, with your family, with your friends, in your profession, whatever you want to do. Again, we don't claim to know anything, but we're sure trying to share BioTouch with you. Just Touch. Get hold of us at justtouch.com. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks, Bev. That was fun.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind, and the pain is too much. What we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.